stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off. Find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous, is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man. I started to go. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to be human, find a solution, my evolution. A place like this, it didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass half wish. I know, it's easier to hide than just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone. Just wanna break, no, I'm not gonna give in. Take a last shot, Michael J. Win. No, I'm not a robot, I'm in my own skin. Never get lost when thoughts pull you in. I miss the old you, we died with a purpose. All the energy around me felt nervous, scared I would pop off fast to the surface. Had to cut it off before you made me worthless. Torn apart, I've been torn and scarred. I had a given art, but now I'm thinking smart. I'm keeping up my guard, I'm hiding every card. A royal flush of left, you never know what's hard. With a back to the mat, gonna see where I'm at. I'ma fight like I'm mad, I'ma be something that they can never be me. Nice try, but they'll see I achieve everything while they stay salty. I started to go. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through fix. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Good to see you guys here today. Bitcoin hovering around 90,900, maybe about 91K. We had a nice little move this morning, and it was something that we were looking at yesterday in the Discord. We'll take a quick look at that here when we get to the charts, but just wanted to say what's up to you guys in the chat here. I see we got Infinite Team TA, we got my man Alex O Crypto, we got Maybay Band-Aid, and we got Alexandra G, the best mod in all of the space. Good to see all of you in here. Much love to you guys. Bam, bam, you know it. Let's go ahead and start cranking this show out. We are going to bring this to you fast today, all right? We're not playing around. We're not going to sit here and BS. We are going to get into the charts because that's what you guys care about. First thing we will look at, though, is the crypto bubbles. ZEC down 9.5%, Maker down 7.9%, MYX down 7, or correction is up 7.3%, Render down 7.1%, XMR is up 6.1%, Sky is down 8%, PayPay down 7.7%, POE is up 8.1%. Those are your big movers for the day. Everything else seems to be about 3 to 4%, whether it's negative or positive, but there is a little bit more red out there than there is green for the top 100. Let's go over the total market cap. That's sitting at 3.11 trillion. That is down 0.05%. Not too bad, honestly. Fear and Greed is at 43, which is neutral. Bitcoin is at, see, ain't no edits, man. You guys are watching this after the fact. That stays. Stays, all right? There you go. All right, keeping it real. Bitcoin, 98,600. And that is down 0.56%. Ethereum is at $3,098, and that is down 1.53%. Let's go over to 2Bit, the official sponsor of the show. Use code TradeFly, save 20 for 20% off both your spot and futures trading fees. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. I am in two shorts right now. One, I went a little bit crazy with it. All right, I did 70x short on Bitcoin. I'm having a little fun here. Low capital, only $100. That is up 32.5%. I'll show you why I got into that. And rats, that was in the oversold. Thank you, JR. I was using something off Glassnode that he looks at. It is the coins that are extremely oversold. I was like, you know what? That looks fun to start shorting some stuff. All right. If it's shoop-a-doobie, poop-pooba-doobie, I'm going to short it. Rat, go down, baby. Make me some money. All right, so that's in there. We got two trades out there. Let's go ahead and get the daily DGen cranking. All right, over to the Daily Degen. This is where I give you guys the audience opportunity to vote whether we go long or short. You guys are 60% Moon and 40% Doom. We got 5 votes in. Gosh, man, you know, maybe it's because I changed the thumbnail. People just don't give an S about clicking on. That's all right, though. We're going to take it. I don't care. Fan Bam is here. Everyone else can kiss my booty. All right? That's what I got to say. All right, so you guys want to take a long. Let's go over to the paper trading account real quick because we ain't using real money on this. Like I said, I'm trying to separate the P&Ls. And somebody is calling me. Sorry, no interest. Here we go. All right, so you guys want to go long. We're going to put a G on that one. So, I mean, in what? 45 minutes? As long as you guys are profitable, all Gucci. It's in there. We ain't really doing any TA on that. Bada bing, bada boom. You guys get what you want. All right? Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Looks like it did just break to the downside, though. But here nor there, let's go ahead and we'll set a stop loss and ATP. And we'll just throw a couple out there real quick. We'll just say 92, and then we'll adjust it. All good. And then what are we at right now? And we'll say 90. There we go. Enable. All right, cool. So we got those in. Now we can kind of slide it and adjust. When you're actually trading on the actual futures one, it gives you the bar where you can slide it. It makes your life a lot easier. But let's go ahead and slide this down now. Something that makes a little bit more sense right there at the top. And then for the stop loss, I think you guys are going to get fucking... Oh, excuse me. I think you guys are going to... You might get crushed on this one. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Potty mouth. Potty mouth. All right. There you go. We're in there for the Daily Degen where we don't do much TA on it. I just go ahead and set a TP and an SL. Really, what I'm trying to show you guys there is even if you're not that good at technical analysis, what's more important is risk management, okay? Now, I know we didn't do a lot of that going into this trade, but here nor there, we're just having a little fun. It's for audience engagement. Let's go back. I know we got real trades open right now, so unfortunately, we're going to have to go back here. Let's see what's going on, what's cracking with these. Let's see. All right, so rats... I'm not too worried about that right now. That one it was a low capital. It was less than $5. I think it was $5 actually. So not too worried about that one. That one's going to be a little bit more of a hold. I'll probably hold that for a couple days. This Bitcoin one though, we are going to keep an eye on that one. All right. So this one right now, I say we go ahead and bring this stop loss to entry because we are in the trade right now. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got our stop loss and boom. We're not losing today, fam. All right, so that short's in there. We'll see if it runs. You can see that I have my take profit right now. One, there's a couple things that I like here. It is down at the bottom part, all right, of this little range here before we took off. And then you have your VWAP on the 3-minute. Alex O special, baby. You know it. All right, that'll be a $55 profit on $100. Not so bad. We're playing on house money now, so we're all Gucci. We're all Gucci. Let's hope that it runs. Why did I take that trade, though? Whew. Goodness gracious, man. Look at the CVD on this one. All right, so we had huge divergence. All right, price was going up. CVD was dumping away. It made no sense to see continuation of the price action up and right. Open interest was going down. I was like, hey, man, it's that time. So what do we got right here? This is about 90K where you do have some buy orders on the books. Let's go ahead back real quick and double check. You know, I haven't even opened up the chart yet, man. That's how confident I was jumping into that one. That is at 90,000. So cool. We're front running those orders that are on the books. All Gucci. I'm feeling good about it. We're going to let this thing run. You know what? We may even slide this stop loss a little bit more. What do you think? There we go. Now we're locking in profits. All right. We got $14 in the books and it is still working its way down about 40%. I'm liking it. I'm liking it, but we're going to let it run. We are going to let it run. All right, so managing the trade, all Gucci. Let's go ahead and get over to the actual charts. I'm sure that's what you guys want to see. Do a little bit of top down. Maybe, but you know what? Let's talk about what we talked about yesterday. Reason to be in the Discord. This right here. We nailed this. All right, so we were sitting live in the Discord. It was me, Harp, Squid, and JR. So we're looking at this, and initially we were looking at this region right here about the 0.5. All right, we're like, hey, there's liquidity there, 90,700. That's what this is what the green is. That's what I mark with liquidity, green boxes. We're looking at that, and we're like, man, not so bad, not so bad. But as we kind of were talking, right, this is why it's fun to work with people, collaborate. As we were talking, you know, I was like, you know what? I like this area better. There's more confluence down there. And, you know, you hear the yeahs, you're like, yeah. Everybody's kind of jumping in on it like, yeah, you know what? Like, I like that area too. Why did we like this area? One, you had the golden pocket, all right? So you had the golden pocket, swing low to swing high, got it. You had a convergence of the moving averages, the bottom of the golden pocket. So it gave you a technical area to get a bounce. If you were to come down, clear the liquidity, it gave you a technical area where you could see price action bounce, right? And that's just getting ahead of it. We were way ahead of it, probably about 12 hours ahead of it, this move. And I was like, oh, dang, that's not so bad. So you put your stop loss just below that area, hoping that it does play out. But you watch it a little bit. So now, if you were to have put a limit order in, it would have played out too on this candle alone. It came down, hit that entry right there, boom, up to the top. Why was this my exit? Well, let's talk about it. Let's zoom out a little bit more. One, you had volume. You had the top of this little range right here, right? As it was coming up, you had a rejection, previous rejection, previous rejection. That, for me, was a pretty firm line in the sand and just front running this area up here. All right, so you're front running the area. And then, you know, it wasn't a big move. It was only about 1%. But if you throw a little leverage on there, 3x, 5x, you can turn that into something decent. And your drawdown was only 0.5%, so pretty safe, right? This is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a scalp setup, but it's pretty damn close to what, you know, some guys are using out there. Like Alex O used to use the 44x leverage play, right? He was looking for a 1% move to the top side, a 0.3% drawdown. That was typically the going in rate with going into some of these, with $2,500 margin, going into some of these scalp plays. Now, that would have played out quite nice. And so what we were doing, we were just looking for confluence. Now, there was one more thing that was on that like solidified this area for me where I was like, you know what? This is probably a good area. It was going to the order book. Okay, and this is what I saw right here. Look at all the orders that were on the books. Now, not all of them got filled, but some of them definitely got filled. All right, so all these orders were on the book at the time of analysis. You need to understand that too. So at the time of analysis, there was a ton. Now, they didn't all stay on. As price started to come down, I guess some of them either pulled the orders off or it was the market maker playing games, but some of these orders did actually get filled, and that is a good thing if you're looking for a reversal. So when you go to the liquidation heat map, the other thing we saw yesterday was like, hey, we got a really hot spot. Understanding how to read this. This heat is coming in after the fact. Understand what we saw yesterday is darkness, okay? Darkness, my friend. Okay, so when you see that, hello, darkness, then there's the opportunity there for a reversal. So you had a few things lining up. You had technicals, you had liquidity, all right, liquidation events that were happening because there were stop losses, there was leverage positions, market maker gets happy when he takes those, and then you had orders on the books, like people were kind of waiting for that. And that created that quick little reversal, A+ setup, man. We talked about it yesterday in the Discord. We said it, we called it, it was an A+, because all those things lined up. I mean, if you ain't in the Discord, get there. All right, so let's go back. Take a look-see here. Let's zoom out just a little bit. So this one has played out. Boom, nailed it. Now, this line right here, we kind of talked about that, but this is just going a little bit back left on the chart, and all I'm looking at is just groupings of horizontal price action, right? So looking at support, looking at resistance, and kind of front running this area. So sure enough, now that's the area that's resistance. Look, you got the arrow there. Here we go. So we'll move this back out, and you got a high volume node. So a couple things lining up right there. I would say like you're looking right now for that to break. If you want to stay bullish, let's go ahead and do a, yep. So that came down to the 618. Got it. Cool. That's a good area to bounce. But you want to break this level right here at about 90,700 in this high volume area. What happens there? Less volume. Let's go ahead and scroll out. Let's bring in some of this previous price action, because that's going to change what you see in terms of the volume, right? There you go. So you break here, right? You'd probably be looking for a little breakout retest, continuation up, and then you have the 618, the golden pocket here at about 92.6. All right, so that's what you would be looking for if you're looking for a quick play to the upside. Boom, 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 bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Let's go ahead and measure that out. Let's see what it's worth. About 1.9%. All right, so that's one of those ones you'll have to use a little bit of leverage to get something that's worth your while. And then obviously you're just gonna put your stop loss right below that area. Leave yourself a little love. Make sure it's at least a 2-to-1, and that's what you can look for in terms of a long position. Now, do I think that's gonna play out? I don't know. Don't really matter to me. Let it play out, right? Let that breakout happen. Let that retest happen, and then make a decision if you want to jump in. All Gucci. Come over to the order book, see what's going on here. Is your CVD starting to work up? Is some open interest coming in? You know, is there a little spike in open interest? Do you see the orders actually on the books? Like, there's a few things to validate whether you should jump in or not. All right, a few things. Let's go back to 2-bit real quick. Let's see what we're sitting at. About 34%. All right, ain't mad at that. And then where are we at right here? So just above. I'm cool. I'm Gucci with keeping that in there. I see a little spot right here. So if we break above that, we'll probably go back up and hit that stop loss. Oh, Gucci, I ain't mad at that. But if not, if we stay below, then I think we're coming down, and we'll go ahead and full TP out of that thing. All right, so back to the charts. Actually, back to the chat. Let's say what's up to the homies in here. Let's see who we got. Who do we got in here that's late arrivers? We got Charles in here. What up? What up? How you doing? Steve Hickey, my dude. How you doing, man? Good to see you. All right. We got Grayson. What up? Yo, Danger DGen. You know it. It's the Daily DGen. I might just make the name of the show the Daily DGen. Like, so I bounce things off of like AI, and I do my own kind of little, you know, statistical look at it on YouTube. Like, well, what do people tend to click, right? And 6-figure trades is kind of what popped for everyone. But I'm not always in a 6-figure trade, man. So like, it's almost like, you know, you might come for that, and then you're like, well, he's not always trading 6 figures. And I do trade 6 figures, like that happens, but you know, it's not all the time. So like, I don't want to have that element of like clickbait, if that makes sense. So, you know, I might just call it the Daily DGen. It seems to be my thing. You know, I've created a segment in the show called the Daily DGen. And if YouTube don't like it, the algorithm don't like it, the people don't like it, and kiss my booty. All right, so we got Al Jr. in here. What up, man? He said, time to roll up, grind and shine. I don't give an F about problems, because it's mother effing TradeFly time. LFG, dump it. Let's go. I ain't gonna say that last part. I mean, you know, I could, because it's the beach, right? You go to the beach, it's sunny, it's California, but I like beaches. Get it? All right, Rashad, how you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat. Hope all is well with you. Dopey Bull afternoon, how you doing? All right, Maybe Band-Aid. TradeFly membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right, you know what? I got something for you, though. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right, who got that? Simon Davis. I don't even think I've seen you say a word in here. Not once. Lurker. All right. Who else we got? I think I gave Dopey Bull a shout out. Who else we got? We got Vinny in here. LFG, my teacher's favorite teacher, Bits of Wealth. Hey, Bits of Wealth is legit, man. I'm not his teacher. That dude, he's good. Like, we align a lot, like in our analysis. Very rarely you cross paths with dudes like never talk to the guy ever until an X Space probably, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And then it was like, we're just sitting here saying the same thing. And I'm like, who is this guy? It was like, you know, it was like a TA twin almost, man. It was interesting. He's good stuff though. So he's got a bigger presence on X. If you guys don't know, Bits of Wealth, he's worth a follow on X. Go check him out. All right, let's go. Let's keep it going. So, scrolling out. How we looking here? Yeah, I gave you the one, like if breakout retest, continuation up, 618, you got volume up there as well, so kind of looking at that's a potential play. You are still getting ascending level of support though, right? And this is, I'd say, a pretty firm level that you're looking at. I mean, and what do you have underneath you? You got the monthly pivot, you got the weekly pivot, you got the 0.786, you got high volume area, you got the point of control. Let's go ahead and update that real quick though. Let's update that. Probably won't move much. Yeah, not at all. But I do like that area. If it were to come down to the POC, in vicinity of the weekly pivot, the 0.786, the high volume area right here, yeah, you're thinking about a bounce. But that being said, oh, don't want to move that. Don't want to move that. That being said, you know, you got to be smart about it, right? Because once you start reestablishing the zone here, like, are we anticipating that we're just going to bust through and break? Or are you going to get a little consolidation, little range period, kind of like this right here? So I would keep your eye on that, and a little bit of bouncing back and forth in there would be the expectation for me. So if you're looking at taking a potential play in there, I wouldn't take it past the moving averages. I mean, that one's tough, man. Just because you have the monthly pivot right there, that does make it tough. That does make it tough. But I do think that it... Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, we want this one to move. There you go. So I think I would... Man, I would probably be comfortable with taking it up to the moving averages and kind of the bottom of the range right there. Or not the range, but I guess where we found support. And then it's a matter of really, can you get the 2-to-1, right? And that's... You're going to have to wait for this one. All right, this is not one I'd be comfortable putting a limit order in. Yesterday, comfortable. Today, not. And that's really because, you know, you're kind of winging it, right? There's not a real strong technical here. Like, this had a strong technical. This was like a confluence of technicals, just overlapping of like, okay, seeing a bounce out of that would make a lot of sense. This, not so much, right? Because you would be sliding past the high volume area. You would be dipping your toes into some liquidity. You know liquidity's here. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt there is some liquidity from there to there. It's really pretty much all the way down. You could take this box that's down here, and you could slide it all the way up to there. It's just how much of that liquidity do they want to grab before some buyers step in and move the price back up. You know, that's the game that's being played. Right? Because remember, the game is not set up for you to win. So it's really a matter of how much liquidity is sitting down here. And then can you get that 2-to-1? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Knowing too that you have the monthly pivot right there that really could reduce you having a profitable trade. So that one's a little sketchy. Have to keep an eye on that. That'd be one, like if I got into that, I'd be very aggressive about getting that stop loss to entry. Just because I don't want to get upside down in that one. I don't know that I really like that a lot. I would say, kind of looking at this, right? Like, if we get down here and we start breaking below the value area low, I'll tell you what I'm liking more is if we break down, is a potential short. But what do you have to see, right? You got to see that breakout retest of that area. And then I would love to see this, right? And I know you guys wouldn't, but as someone that's trading, I would. And why? Because there's so much liquidity in here. There's a ton. So don't you think they're going to want to clean that up? So cleaning up that liquidity, that opens up the door for movement, right? They don't want to leave that on the table. They don't want to leave that behind. They want to take that before you actually see a move. So if you were to see the price action go down there below the value area low, get that breakout retest, continuation to the downside, I would probably be apt to take a short down to, you know, somewhere around the yearly pivot. Man, that would be super, super nice for a multitude of reasons. And you might even potentially, you wouldn't really be retesting this channel. I think that would be way too aggressive of a move down. I think it's almost time that we could probably get rid of this channel at this point. I think it's just clouding up the table here. There we go. Or the chart. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on, because I think that would make a ton of sense if you break the value area low and you get that retest and you see that selling pressure come in. Then that's something you could jump on. Let's see what we could do in terms of a short. Bring that up. POC down to at least the bottom of the liquidity. There you go. That's getting that 2 to 1, and that's about a 4% move. All right, so you don't need as much leverage on that. Maybe only a couple. 3 would be sweet, right? Because then you're looking at about a 12% gainer, and that's pretty nice. Let's go back to open trade right now. Looking all right. Cool. Yep. Starting to work its way back down. Come on, baby. Again, not too worried about the rats. I'll probably stay into that one a couple days. I may think about putting that stop loss to entry, though. I don't know. Nah, it's probably too soon. Too soon for that one. Let's go back to Bitcoin. All right, we'll keep that up. Let's go back to the charts. Let's look at USDT dominance. Again, you know the inverse correlation there. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. So, remember, well, you know, how I always talk about the confluence between the charts. So we had that move down. I talked a little bit about that yesterday as well. Confluence between the charts, right? You came down the moving averages. I think I talked about this Tuesday, too. I was like, hey, pay attention to this. Because if it's coming down to these moving averages, it's almost like inverse right now. Now it's going to the moving averages for the USDT dominance, right? Front ran the 618 a little bit, but you can see, like, there's confluence. It's just inverse. It's just an inverse chart almost. But there, I mean, there was a clear area for a rejection. Again, the purple here is actually the 50 SMA, the daily 50 SMA, just so you understand. And the red is the 200 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So that's the traditional 200 on the 4-hour. This is actually the 50-day SMA. All right, so again, there was a technical reason, and you had some volume there in that area, right about where the 0.5 was. But a technical reason to see a rejection. And I mean, it got it, right? So I think it's going to be tough sledding in terms of USD dominance pushing up above that. And you got a very clear horizontal, right? Support, and break. Look at that. Breakout, retest, continuation down. Okay, so that right there makes that a horizontal just super, super clear. Let me go ahead and put a just small little trend line on it. Boom. Shift. Bada bing. All right, so it makes that very, very clear. That's going to be a big thing to push through. Now, understand that if it does push through, bad news for Bitcoin. All right, so keep an eye on USDT dominance. Again, if it pushes through this area and you get a breakout and retest, bad news for Bitcoin. So keep an eye on this area at about 6.2 for USDT dominance. Let's look at the total market cap. Yeah, sure enough. Look at that, man. Show enough, shorty. So I got that rejection continuation as of yesterday. Yeah, just kept working its way down. Hasn't really even thought about coming up and retesting that area. But you do see same thing, right? So again, you're getting that that confluence between charts, right? Where did it bounce? The 618, right above the moving averages. No, it's not going to be perfect all the time, but you can see high volume area, all right? And then you see the 618, the moving averages converging all into one area at about 3 trillion. And that's what I've been talking about. 3 trillion is likely to be an area that you find support. So, same deal here. You lose 3 trillion, all right, then probably not ideal for Bitcoin. All right, so you're coming back down, you're going to be in the range, and then it's a matter of looking at Bitcoin and seeing where are you at in life if you break that area. So what I'm guessing is dominance is probably up a little bit, only because just understanding what the alts are doing right now. Yep, they're probably getting hit a little bit harder. Yeah, it makes sense. Why do I say that? Why I say that right now is because where you're at relative to the bounce, okay? So we got a nice bounce for Bitcoin off of that level, and then looking at where is Bitcoin right now. Well, it could come down here and retest this level again, right? At the golden pocket, but total market cap is a little bit different. Let's go back to total market cap real quick. Nah, actually, it's about samesies. It's about samesies. I'll retract that statement. It's about samesies. Yeah, you could come back down and retest this level down here. It still be all Gucci. But I think that's going to be the line in the sand, folks. Right around 3 trillion. Psychological area, that's the area we've been just pogoing all around. Bouncing on each side of 3 trillion. Using as support, using as resistance. It is the line in the sand, I think. Man, yeah, if you lose that, then Bitcoin probably loses this area as well. unfortunately. And then you're left with the POC, the weekly pivot, the monthly pivot, all around here. This is like, for me, like it gets a little weird just because there's too many technicals overlaid with each other right now. You got to be real careful with that. You know, this would probably be, I would lean towards no trade land for me. I might take something off the POC, but that's going to be tough. It's going to be choppy in there, I think. Let's go over to Ethereum real quick and double check the chat, see what we got. We got Wick's wife in here. What up, lady? How you doing? We got all set in the house. Show it, short shorts. You know it. I'm in a short. We are in a short. No doubt about it. Who else we got in here? Solana. Yeah, I can look at Solana. Maybe always. Did I say that? I probably did. All right. Let's look at Ethereum. Yeah, right now, so again, for Ethereum, you have a pretty strong level. I won't say a strong level. You have this ascending level of support, and it has been respecting it. Okay, since the low here, 21 November, it's been respecting this. And now you have some confluence here, too, with some of the moving averages, the 200 and the 50 SMA, daily SMA. So you do have a pretty nice area of support that could potentially hold you up. So there's an opportunity here to see a little run up. I think Ethereum's looking okay, right? As long as we maintain this trend. All right, this trend is obviously putting a little pressure to the upside. However, if you lose that, then liquidity's down here. All right, so 27 to 2,900. I mean, it's actually, I would say 2,600. 2,600 is really where it's at because it's below this last swing low here. All right, that would probably be where the bulk of stop losses and leverage positions are sitting. It just depends on how much they've taken profit on the way up, or have they moved up in terms of their stop loss, right? Kind of like we do when we're jumping into some of the trades. You move that stop loss around. They do that too, and you can see that when you're looking at the books. But right now, this is kind of the key level, the key area here that's sitting, I would say, probably as far down as about 3,000. Nice psychological area as well. Nice horizontal. As you can see, both support, resistance here at about 3,000. That's where you want to see a bounce for Ethereum. So we were looking at a potential short setup there, 382 coming back down to retest this level. Really, the level I was just talking about, but it a little premature here. You got that rejection early. Now it's coming back down. Now you want to see that bounce out. So what are you looking for? What are you hoping for? You're looking for support there and hoping for a move back up to the 382. Is that a trade I'm willing to take right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Only because look at how close it is to, you know, the area of support right now in conjunction with Bitcoin. It's not something I'm super interested in right now. I'll be more interested in the 382 when it goes up there, looking for that initial rejection, than I am on taking a continuation trade for Ethereum. You got to see a bounce for Bitcoin. If you don't see a bounce for Bitcoin, it's almost silly to jump into something for Ethereum right now. You know the North Star. But that's what I'll be looking for Ethereum in the short term. Let's look at Solana. You know what we got to do there. Hey, check this out. Hey, give me a little credit. Give me a little credit. All right, what'd I say? We're talking about that 121 area. All right, that has been support over and over and over again. Where was the target area? 140, right? 140 is what I said multiple times on the show. Look for a move up to 140. Boom. All right. That played out beautifully. All right, you do have some support. This actually looks a little bit better than Ethereum. You got support underneath, you got the 618, you got the moving averages on all underneath, and you're working in a high volume area. So Solana looking a little stronger than the rest, and I do think there was some bullish news out there as well. I think there's some big banks that are getting involved. I believe a stable coin as well. It might be USDC. There was some news about that with Solana as well. You got to drop that in the chat. I'm sure you guys are nerding up on that. You probably know all the news. I just know it was bullish news for Solana, and that could be why you're seeing, you know, a little bit better looking chart. All right, I think this chart looks a little bit better than both the Ethereum and Bitcoin right now. Looks a little stronger to me. Could be wrong. Could be right. All right, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So I see where they pulled that from. Just validating. Yeah, Man, that's tough. So, I mean, if the market pulls back, Solana's obviously going to pull back with it, but I do think you have an opportunity here, retesting the highs of the range, the 618, the moving averages. I think there could be an opportunity, if you missed it, to get in somewhere around 129. I think that's plausible and pretty logical, right? But if you have an aggressive move to the downside for Bitcoin and friends, you know, it might just come back down to these levels here at 121, give you another shot at that. And would you jump on that? I would say, like, it may not be a bad idea, especially if you have some, you know, buys that are up a lot higher. Bringing that cost basis down, you know, would make sense for a multitude of reasons. Let's look at the indicators right now. We'll look at the old TradeFly CVD indicator. That's aggressively working its way up. Looking at the Prime Oscillator Pro on the 4 hour, you did get a push up to the upside here. It looks like it's probably gonna flash a little reversal here soon, would be my guess. No true 7 flash though, so you would like to see that true 7 flash. All good. Other than that though, you know, opportunity to see a move to the upside is there if you like oscillators. But you know, I'm bigger on the structure, right? Looking at the actual movement of the price action itself. Really, this was probably a good spot for a, you know, entry, but not something I was looking at taking. Honestly, I was looking for the move from here to here. Wham bam, thank you, man. I'm out. All right, so let's look at XRP. We'll look at that real quick. Doom is my life motto. My man. Retro Mike Tech, what up, bro? Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. All right, XRP is similar, right? So I do like a short for XRP up here. When I say up here, talking about $2.73. Basically a horizontal play there, looking at the high volume and looking at where you should have liquidity. Right, you should have some liquidity up there, starting at about 2.66 up to about 2.73. If we get a nice aggressive push to the upside, if then, not saying XRP is going there, just saying if we do go up there for whatever reason, doesn't look like it wants to, but if we do go up there, I do like that setup for a potential quick short. That opens up the door for about a 9% move to the downside here. So just go ahead and mark that, leave it, come back to it another day if price does decide to recover. Good news, bad news. Good news. We'll go with the bad news first. It's still trending to the downside. If you were to take this high here, I mean, there's an argument to say, hey, it's just a lower high. But if you're looking at the moving averages, you're looking at the trend right here, you broke out. So that's good. Coming back down to retest that trend, not such a terrible thing. But you do want to see buyers step in. All right, so we need to see a little bit of aggressiveness in the buying. You know, from these levels here, you want to retest, that's fine, all Gucci, but then you got to start seeing some positive momentum coming out of that retest. Otherwise, you're just going to come right back down to the range. And so keep an eye on that. I wouldn't... Let's look at the indicators here. All right. Getting a little diamond there on the Oscillator Pro. Let's see here. CVD, ultimately... still working up, right? Just kind of resetting. Still no true 7 flash though. I like the true 7 flashes. It is looking like it wants to kind of reset though. Kind of start working its way to the upside. I mean, the opportunity is there. Same though. Just keep an eye on Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumpsy doos, it's gonna lose this. Bitcoin gets a nice bounce, then you know it'll probably bounce too, right out of this area. And then you're looking for a move, probably I would say up to right back up to the 0.5. It's probably a nice move, to be honest with you. We'll just take present position. Yeah. That's a 14% move. To the upside there, and you're protected by having this the moving averages underneath of you, and potentially a pivot, and potentially high volume area, all sitting around $2. Nice psychological area too. May not be bad. May not be bad. Let's go ahead and hide this one for now, just so it doesn't confuse anyone. Hide. There you go. All right. Man, this is something to think about, honestly. It's like playing a leverage play almost. Just because it looks like it's moving, you know, at an exponential rate in comparison to Bitcoin. Let's see, if you were to take it from here, go back up, grab that. Well, you got to front run it. Always want to be kind of smart about that. Yeah, you could get a 2-to-1 out of that. I don't know that it's something I'm super interested in. If you came down a little bit more, I think I would like it a little bit more. If you were to actually get buying pressure coming in out of a test of the 200 and the 50 SMA, and I mean, that's your high volume area too, right there. Right with the moving average. One, that's going to increase your return. Then you can put your stop loss below the moving average there. And the risk reward is significantly better. Now you would be front running the liquidity, and that's something you're going to have to hold. It's not going to be something that you're going to get out of like super quick either. Like you're probably going to be holding that one for a little while. Maybe at minimum, I'd say a couple days, 2-3 days. That's not too bad. I don't know that it's super high probability, right? Because you're not getting a liquidity sweep. That's usually one of my, you know, entry criteria when I have the high conviction plays. So your liquidity would be a little bit further down at about 1.76. But if you're looking for a continuation play, breakout retest of the trend there, that could be an opportunity for XRP. Now, again, keep the eye on Bitcoin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Moving its way back up. Getting a little bounce out of that area. Again, not too worried about rats, but Bitcoin. We are in a play on that. We do have the stop loss in profit. I think about 14%. 14 bucks is what we'll be looking at on that one. Again, just looking at the CBD, it's kind of why I jumped into that one. CBD was aggressively working its way down. I saw a price divergence on the 15-minute. Let's expand that a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So just to rehash why I got into that one. Huge divergence between price and CBD. I don't really see anything that would make me think this is going to change much, though. Got a little bounce, but nothing that scares me out of it right now. Let's see here. Let's go back to the chat real quick. We did look at Sol. Hopefully you said that before I looked at Sol. What's BTC all-time high for 2026? I have no idea. I pretty much nailed 2025, but it was like the simplest, like I literally just took a channel, man. Like I was like the anti like nerd on that one. Like they went Alex, Piper, OC guy, Lunar, all those guys got super technical, like super technical in the weeds. I was like, all right, guys, it's going to be the simplest TA you've ever seen. And I literally took this channel that I had from 2021 highs right there. Swing lows. I was like, all right, let's extrapolate. And that's how I was like, yeah, I think I said somewhere around like 88 or something like that. I think that was my call. So not too far off. Let's see. I mean, if we follow the same trajectory, you're saying 2026? Again, this holds no weight. This holds 0 weight, just so you know, Steve. If we were to pull that out into 2026, I think it can do better, but the top of the channel puts you at about 106, 107. Slow, steady growth though, man. I mean, if you were in an investment, and this is what I try to tell people or explain to people, if you invested in something, let's say you invested in you bought the high. You bought the high, 69K. You were feeling like a big dummy for a year and a half. Real big dummy from 2021. But now you're up 31%. And, you know, if we just extrapolate, you know, your trade would be up 55%. That's not so bad. That still beats the market, right? So if you're looking at, well, does it actually? No, it's actually right on par with the market. Right on par with the market, honestly. Funny enough. So, you know, what do you expect? About 10% or so? 10 to 12%? So, yeah. I think it'll do better. But if you were just to take the silly channel I drew that just happened to work for me, you know, 106, 107 would be just kind of following the median. But this looks more aggressive than the median, right? Like, well, so did this. To be reals, this looks more aggressive too. But I mean, it's kind of stair stepping up. So, you know, does it change? Does the trajectory of this channel change? And it's possible. Now, one thing we got to be careful of is what we've seen based on the 4-year cycle. This part you're not going to like. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so 4-year cycle, right? If we were to follow kind of the average of the norm, right? Just the last two, we'll say. So 84%, 76% pullback. I'm taking a swag. You know, let's say we get a 75%. You know, the potential. We'll say the potential for, you know, a 75% pullback. You know, where is that going to put you? And that's where things get weird, because that puts you somewhere around like 30K, all the way down to the range demand. So it's a long way to go back up for 2026. It's a long way to go. Like, so this is supposed to be a down year. I guess this is you know, just saying, hey, like, look at what happened when we're looking at the 4-year cycle, right? This is a down year after the high, right? Q3. So Q3 down off the high, Q3 down off the high, Q3 could be down off the high, or, you know, do we change it up a little bit? You know, that's the hope. The hope is we do change it up a little bit, and we find support, you know, down here. You know, 60, 70,000. You got your 200 on the weekly, right? Working its way up. Let me fix that. There you go. It's tough to predict, Steve, to be honest with you. But if you take the averages off the highs, like, you know, that would put you down around 30-some thousand. I'm leaning towards probably not going to happen, but it's crypto. You never know, right? Like, yes, we have big money. Yes, we have institutional investment now. I got it. But you never know. You never know. All right, I think that trade is getting close to probably being stopped. Yeah, it's pushing up. Little breakout. See the horizontal level right here? Breakout retest. It's, you know, it wants to make a push up. But you do have this level right here that could act as a resistance. So do I get above that? It's never, because it's probably push up, stop out, and then we get just above it. We get just above it. There we go. There we go. So that'll lock in a 10% win. do a little fib retracement here. You do have the 0.5. 618 is a little bit higher. 0.382 though, that's continuation, right? So that's pretty close. So if you're hoping a move continues, 0.382, oof. I don't know if that's gonna hold up. All Gucci, not worried about it. What time is it? 12:49. Let's see. Let's see what the order book is saying real quick. All right, getting a little bit coming in. Let's go the 5-minute on the order book. Okay, so CVD is coming alive a little bit. Still not much on terms of open interest. Delta is still negative here on the DOM. And you still got the orders down here. So sometimes you'll see these orders come in and what it'll kind of have a, I don't know if it has a mental impact on retail or what. Like, hey, we know we got orders down here, and then they kind of push it up, right? They don't go, the market maker chases, you know, liquidity, but in this case, like the market maker could be playing games saying, hey, we got orders down here, so might as well drive that thing up. All right. Let's hide this. Yeah, man. So, I mean, end of 2026, say what we hope for. Hope for 106, 107. I would have to dive a little bit deeper. I mean, it's kind of tough because you would come, if you came all the way down to 60 or 70,000 in 2026 and just looking at kind of the trajectory of these consolidation periods, I don't know if it'll give it enough time to come back up, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Ain't no biggie. I kind of look at it like the NASDAQ and the S&P at this point. Like if you look at those, let's look at the S&P 500. What do you see? It looks better than Bitcoin, obviously, but I mean, you'll see periods where it ranges. I mean, this is a range from 2000 to 2009. That's kind of crazy. I'm sorry, that's 2007, my bad. So 2000 to 2007, not much in terms of gains. But this is why you take a DCA approach. And what happens here? Let's talk about that. Steve-O. Let's say you start here. You buy here. But you DCA all the way down here, right? So you DCA, DCA, DCA. What happens? Well, now your basis is here. So then you go up from here to here, profits. Cool. What do? Got a downturn in the market again. Sweet. DCA, DCA, DCA. What ends up happening? Well, then your cost basis comes down again, right? Now you're moving your cost basis. Now, I won't say it goes all the way to the middle, but it does move down, okay? Cost basis will move down a little bit. Now what happens? From here to infinity and beyond, like Buzz Lightyear, you're in profits, bro. It's the power of DCA. Think about that. Now, you could continue, obviously, to DCA in. And then, of course, as it goes up, more profits. Mo money. But even if you just took it from right here to there. Oh. Let's just take it from here to there. 544% on the S&P. You know, just let that sucker run. But yeah, I would just kind of keep DCAing in. Obviously, that will bring your cost basis up, but I don't know that in the history of the S&P that it ever came back that far. So I think you're going to be safe. Long story short, Bitcoin, a little different story, a little bit more volatile. I'm thinking that trade probably got stopped at this point. No? Still alive? Still alive. Not looking great though. Well, I mean, it's profitable, but starting to work up. I think probably should have moved it to right there. And once it broke, all Gucci. Still gonna be 10% no matter how you look at it. I ain't mad at that. Let's see. Let's go back to the charts. Let's look at Apple real quick. We were following that channel. Nice rejection off the channel. Coming back down, 0.382 would be your bullish continuation, but I like levels a little bit further down here. Look, so ElevenX is caught up with me. I like this, the bottom of the channel here at the, it may, by the time price comes down here, if it comes down, it's probably going to be at the 0.5 vice the golden pocket. If we get an aggressive pullback for whatever reason, then obviously the golden pocket would be something I'd want to jump on, but I don't know that you're going to see that necessarily. So I think the 0.5 where this volume is sitting right here, boom, and then this is your area, I think. So that would be at about, we'll call it $230. I think there's a high probability you come down, you bounce out of that area, and then you look for another move to the upside. What would that look like for Apple if you get that? About a 22% move. I don't think you're going to hate me for that one. Let's see. AVEX. Haven't looked at you too much lately because you've hurt my heart. You hurt my heart. I gave you too much credit. All right, just maintaining this lower support right now. Not great, friends. Not great. Oh, I heard a ching ching. Yep, so it just closed. We'll go to the, let's see, is it position history? Or might be position. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's a nasty one. There we go. That was a loser there. Lost a couple $100 on that one. But right here, ends up with 4.36%. Let's see. There you go. This one was, I got stopped out on this one. 6% move to the downside. I went a little bit heavier on that. What was the play on that one? I think that was a limit. I put a limit order in. Oh, Gucci. All right, so rats, got that open too. So what I was looking at for that, I'll show you guys what JR was looking at. It's on Glassnode. The Glassnode? I ain't doing all that searching. All good. Anyways. B team, what up, man? Good to see you in the chat, bro. Hope all is well with you. Let's take a quick look. What time is it? 12:58. Looked at XRP. Oh, I've been hearing bad things about ZEC. Something about like their devs were like walking away. All right, that's the weekly. Let's go to the 4-hour real quick. I don't know how true it is, by the way, so don't hold me to that. But I heard there's some inner turmoil, we'll say, with the team. Yeah, let's not even do any TA on that. If you got something that crazy with the team, that I don't think that would be smart to jump on. You can look at rats though real quick. I jumped on that one. So I just got extremely overbought. There's an RSI like heat map essentially that will basically lay out the tokens, like what is like the most overbought. Rats was like super high up and I was like, that's a poop coin. And it had this huge push to the upside. Not a whole lot of rhyme or reason, friends. I got to be honest with you. That was minimal TA. I was just like, oh, okay. That's got some potential to move back down. Very realistic, for it to come back down and retest, at least this area here at about 4.7. I'm not gonna say all those zeros. And that, yeah, about 4.7. All right, but I think I front ran that quite a bit. So just looking for a quick short. All right, I don't know that it has a lot of gusto to continue to push up. That was pretty aggressive, but it is holding right now, impressively enough. You're not seeing something like this, right? This is, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was looking for something a little bit more like that. That was kind of what I was expecting. It's actually kind of impressive that it is holding right now. It is holding. It's trying for whatever weird reason. For whatever weird reason, it's trying. But you know, I'm just gonna make a thing out of short and poop. That's I might even change the whole show. Just find like coins to short and just laugh at. But yeah, same thing, right? So you saw it before, pushed up here. Got that aggressive pullback. Let me, there we go. And then right there, aggressive pullback. But not so much here, of course. When I decide to short it, it says, oh, hold on. There might be a chance. So we'll see. Again, not much TA on that one. That was just kind of having a little bit of fun. But it is 1 p.m. my time, so I'm about to get out of here. It's definitely true. The dev team is leaving to spin up a new coin. JR, yeah, I was just talking about you, man. Just talking about you. Just giving you a little love, man. This is yours right here, because you were talking about the heat map for the RSI. So give me a little shout out. Give you a little shout out yesterday for being in the live. We had a banger call. Talking about coming down to the 618 on the 4 hour there. So had a nice little bounce out of that area that we talked about for Bitcoin. Love to see it, man. So thank you everyone for being here. Hope everyone has a great day. I'm gonna get out of here. Please like, subscribe. That would really help the channel. We are trying to continue to grow, and don't forget to use TradeFly, or correction, TF20. Save, is it Save 20? Let me bring that up real quick. TF Save 20. There you go. Use TF Save 20 and save yourself 20% on your fees for both spot and futures for 2-bit. Love you guys a long time. Hope you have a great day. With that, I'm out of here. As always, trade safe, be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.